Okay, we're live. Cool. So let's just give people a few minutes to join and we'll get started here. Okay, so the plan for today is pretty simple. We have a bot that is out there, like a standard bot, and we want to make it so that the bot is able to kind of kick off BabyAGI jobs. And that's an interesting use case of having like a regular bot. You'll have just a simple, hey, do the thing, and then it does the thing, kind of simple back and forth. But with this, you could give it an open-ended task that maybe it doesn't know how to do, although we will constrain it a little bit. But you could give it a kind of open-ended task and then have it work towards getting that done. So that's kind of like the goal today. So the way we're going to do it is we're going to take the Gen bot from the Hustle GPT folks and going to hook it up to the BabyAGI kind of example that we have. And I'm going to add a few things to make it so that we can stop it and cancel it and those kind of things. And also have it so that, the main kind of way it's going to work is that you will be able to ask it to go to a website and get a screenshot of that website or get the content of that website or something like that along those lines. So I think I will give it both the browser and the Python tool. And I guess the Scratchpad tool. I'm pretty sure like that Scratchpad should really be like a default thing that it has. But anyway, so we're going to combine those kind of things. And then at the end, when it's finished, it's going to respond as Gen to Discord. Now getting, it's actually, because we're, this is like a heavyweight thing and it's kind of like running inside of a virtual machine with a browser. You can't kind of treat it just like you would any other bot thing where it's just like doing an API call and then doing stuff. It's not going to work that way because we have a resource, which is that desktop, and it needs to kind of queue things up. So if there's a request from a user, that gets added to the queue, and then later on when it has nothing else to do, then it'll grab that job and then start performing that job. So I'm going to try to get that to work. There is the problem that the reply might be a little weird, but yeah, we'll have to like maybe change the Gen bot a little bit so that we can reply properly. If I can't just provide like a reply ID and have it reply, but that stuff we'll probably do later. For now, let's start with just kicking off the BabyAGI thing from Gen. So anyway, yeah, so let's share my screen and then let's get started here. Okay, cool. So this is the BabyAGI kind of simple circuit diagram with no like fancy routing or anything to make it look nice. It's just the raw stuff, and it's just what I use. And we also have a Discord bot like this. I think that's no longer needed. That we were able to get yesterday, kind of working as a proof of concept. So the idea here is we're going to mix these two worlds together. So let's give that a shot. So for now, I'm going to bring up the Express AI. Here we go. So we got the Express AI Discord. And we can see that Jen, created by the Hustle GPT folks, is here, ready to do our bidding. Now, so Jen has a few like default kind of behaviors, like getting images and things like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to add a, like Jen, go to something and do something. And what I want it to do is to take that go to whatever, and then take a screenshot and then respond with that screenshot back. And I think what I'll do in the BabyAGI pipeline is that first we're going to get into the loop, delete a screenshot PNG if it's there, or delete any screenshot PNGs that are there. And then if, so while there's no screenshot PNG, do the BabyAGI loop. And then the first screenshot that it takes is what we respond to with, and then we stop the BabyAGI loop. And then proceed to the next thing in the queue. That's kind of the plan. We'll see. We're going to be using the RabbitMQ components, but I'm not sure if how well that's going to work. We'll see, because there's when you can get multiple things at a time and something takes time, it might be spawning a thread to do the processing, and then that might make things a little bit complicated for how it works. But we'll try. So we're gonna do things live here and see how it goes. So anyway, so the goal in here. So let's do the first one, which is super simple. It's like Jen, go to the Hacker News website. Go to Hacker News and take a screenshot. Okay, so that's the first thing that we want to do. So I have already set this up in here. So if I send this, it won't work. Or it should, she should say like, okay, but she didn't. So we got to figure out what happened there. Let me just check the simple stuff. Let me get to it. Is that working, or did I break it? Might have broken the Gen bot. Is it running? It is running. Okay. So I have to use that. Okay, so anyway, so let's do, so if that's the way it's going to work. Okay, so if message.author is equal to discord.bot.user and message.content starts with go. Let's do that. Okay, so let's do that. So if I do Jen, go to Hacker News and take a screenshot. And take a screenshot. Okay. One more time. Okay. Let's, but over at the, we shouldn't be doing this in general. Let's go over to the Zybo channel. I think Jen is here. So if I say Jen, go to Hacker News and take a screenshot. Okay, so I did send that. Ooh, okay, so we got to check what happened there. The message might have more than. And so let's just check real quick what the message content is. Print message content. Do that. Okay, and let's try that again. It won't work this time, but okay. So the message that we get, looks like has like a weird at and then an ID. Okay, so yeah, I guess we'll have to. Message starts with. Go. Yeah, just do that. And work on that. I think that will do. Let me restart the bot real quick. Okay. Okay, so now the bot's restarted. If I say the same thing again, so Gen AI, go ahead and take a screenshot. Should respond if I got it right. Let's check the RabbitMQ. Okay, so BabyAGI here is still empty, and the bot did not respond. So something in my code is wrong. Let's see. So if the author is okay, I have an and here, so let me get rid of that. So if the content starts with that, let me do it. Oops, got has to go. What happens if I edit it? Yeah, it's not going to see the edits. We'll have to do it again. I can't use a capital G because I'm an idiot. So let's do that one more time. Why is the content empty? That's interesting. Is the queue? Yeah, the queue is empty. Let me just do a quick. Let me just keep only the do things in a way that doesn't disclose too much, just so that everybody can see what's going on. I'll just do it this way. Okay, so that is the bot ID. Go and printing message content seems to be empty. Do that real quick. We'll go Gen, go to use and take a screenshot, please. Ah, right. I'm an idiot. Okay. Yes, of course. So we'll go here, paste that there. And say this one more time. Okay, cool. So now we're golden. So we got this RabbitMQ publish. There should be one message in the queue if I didn't forget to do that, or if there was an issue. Oh, and it made another thing because I didn't return. That's annoying. Okay. I don't think it needs to do anything else here. So after that, we will return. That makes sense. Okay, and then the RabbitMQ channel is supposed to print out a string. I don't see anything in the queue. So that is annoying. Or no. Is this a message? Let's find out. No, it's still empty. Okay, so I got Discord bot. Okay, so that's just the ignore. Then if I say that go, I guess I might as well do the other stuff too. Or if somebody says without that, let's leave it this way to keep things simple. Basic publish. It should be connected. It should be connected to the queue. Did I get anything? Let's do that one more time, but I'm going to import PDB, PDB.set trace. Okay, so if we do this and I send a message here, I can just take a screenshot. I'm here in the PDB. We are doing the exchange. There's no issues there. And we reply. That seems to be working just fine. That is weird. So let's go to RabbitMQ. Yeah, there's definitely no messages here. Let me just check my own code. AI RabbitMQ. Okay, so when we publish, we have the exchange, which can be empty because we're doing QQ, we're not doing a topic or anything. We don't need a routing key, and then we just have a message. Does the message can be a string? It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Do we do the Q declare? Yeah, so we have a channel saying we're on the BabyAGI queue. Let's make BabyAGI 2. I have the feeling this should I mean, it should work. It will just make a new queue. And let's go do that again. Okay. And then if we look at RabbitMQ, go to the queues, there's BabyAGI 2. But it's still empty. What is it publishing? Okay, so I'll do it this way. Basic publish, exchange body. Just in case it does have to be, I don't think it has to be JSON. Right. It is just a string. It can be any string. Though it would be nice if it was JSON. I think that's fine. Queue message. You call this message. Put that into a dictionary. That. Make sure we import JSON. Then put the body in here. Okay, so run. Tell Jen the same thing. And sorry for everybody who's in this chat. That's going to get spammed. But okay, so that I got the content. So that's good. Get started on this and respond when I'm done. That's good. And if we look at RabbitMQ, there's still no message. Maybe I need to not print the content. I don't think that's an issue. Okay. It's the weirdest thing. We have a channel and a queue, and we're publishing to the queue, and we don't see a message. Why don't I see a message? We were seeing the messages just before. Let's look at this one. Okay, so in this BabyAGI, we're publishing the task list to RabbitMQ. Okay, maybe we have to put the queue name in the routing key. So we put BabyAGI2 there. And then now, if I ask her to do the thing, say yes. And if we look in RabbitMQ, there's now a message. Okay, cool. So the routing key is an important factor in using RabbitMQ. Okay, cool. So now we have a job on the queue, and we need to get BabyAGI to kind of do something about that. So, okay, so let's first get it to yeah, I think what we'll do is we're going to take the objective and now pull it from the queue. So this is the objective, and we can totally set that from the queue. And we have this, we currently have this get variable component, which is what the loop is connected to. So we're going to get the message from the queue, then start this loop. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get a message from the queue, set a variable to true, start the loop, and then at the end of the loop, we check if there's a screenshot.png. We set the loop to false, and we send the reply to the end of that. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so let's give ourselves some space. So I think that's pretty good. Okay, so we're going to give ourselves some space. And this RapMQ disconnect stuff will be something that we do elsewhere. Okay, so the loop is like this. And then in the get variable, we will first start by defining a variable. Okay, so let's disconnect that. Grab another define. I'm going to call this one, I don't know, loop. Should loop. That's an interesting variable to do. The value will be true. Okay, and we're done with that. And we don't need to get it from there. We can get it over here. Okay, now this loop component, we're going to get that variable there, but we'll also get another value. This should loop, right? We'll hook that up to the condition. Okay, now we're not going to loop here, but this is going to be getting this variable from there. So I think actually we don't need that sums. Variable component there. Delete that. And this is going to go here and there. Okay, then we are going to, in the RabbitMQ, consume, right? Let's do it this way. So we're going to consume on BabyAGI2 and the routing key will also be that. Okay, so when we get a message, we're going to get the variable, and if and then we're going to start the loop. Essentially, that's what it's going to do. Now the message that we got is going to be the things that are currently attached here. So we're going to get rid of the objective here. And we're going to connect the message. Actually, let's, since I sent it as JSON, we're going to have to get a value. Did I have that? Let's get bit value. I'm not sure if this message is going to be a dict or not, so we might have to, do a quick modification if that's the case. Anyway, so if we have the message, yeah, it's totally a string. So I have the feeling that they're going to want to do it slightly different. What did I call it again? Let's check. Yeah, message. So we're going to get a JSON string here. So this, let's go into the agent components. I'll just make a really quick like JSON parser and extractor kind of component. So component and class. It's just getting kind of warm over there in Japan. Parse JSON and value. Component. And it's going to take a JSON string, right? Key name, I guess just key, in argster, and then the value, which is an out arg of any. And then in the execute method for this component, we will first do JSON.loads, JSON str.value. We're just kind of assuming that this is a JSON object. So we'll need another one if it's an array or something like that. But anyway, so parse JSON object get value. We do that, and then we set self.value.value to the object self.key.value. Super simple component here. Let's go back here and refresh the list. Now we have this parse JSON and get value. And then we don't need this get dict value. We can just use it directly here. So when we're done consuming, we go to the disconnect. Now on the message, no, before the disconnect, we need a something else. So anyway, let's just focus on the message. So on the message, we're going to parse the message and get the message from it. Super confusing. Okay, so now we have the message, which is the objective now. And we're going to hook that up first to the executor agent over here. So that's the objective. Actually, before we do that, I think I want to do a concat string. So we're going to take this. Actually, I'm gonna also do this with the variable. I think that will make things a little bit easier. And let's go down here and give ourselves some more room. Okay, so we are going to concat. We'll take the value here. Then we're going to put on in front of it using the tools available to you, and go to the website and take the screenshot. And then we are going to concat the string again. This time, I'm going to add to the end of the prompt save the screenshot as screenshot.png. Okay, so now we have an objective, and if we define a variable, the value will be this, and then we'll call this thing an objective. Cool, so now we have our objective defined as a variable. Then we can continue, and for the executor, we can give it a reference to this objective, and to the creator, we can also give it a reference to the objective, and also to the prioritizer, we give it a reference to the objective. There we go. So that should be everything. Then we have our task list, sleep, read file, and things like that. So let's do, in the same place where we have read file, we can make a little, I think it's down here at the bottom. I will create a new component, which is file exists, which takes a file name and then exists as a Boolean. And in Python, file exists. This thing's still running, but I haven't actually used it in quite a while. Darn, okay, we'll just use Google then. I think it's os.path.exists. Because Python, you can't really check. Is file and exists, right? os.path exists path. Yeah, that's exactly right. Now it does do folders, so there's a chance that it could be a folder thing. But whatever. So we will do self.exists value is equal to os.path.exists self.file name.value. Okay, so a super simple thing that we can use to check if the screenshot.png is available, and if so, then then we're done. We don't need to continue with the loop, even if there's more tasks in the task list. For now, we're just going to ignore it. So going back here, let's give that a refresh. Look for file. We have file exists now. Okay, we're going to stop doing, or maybe we'll continue doing that. I think I'll hook up the Discord bot in another Python script, or maybe another circuits file. Okay, kind of like having this, so I'm going to keep it in here. But one thing that I noticed, which was kind of annoying on the stream, was that we published after we slept. And I think that's unnecessary. So we will first do this refile thing. Then the output status, then we'll publish the thing to the topic. Okay. Then we're going to check if the file exists, and the file is going to be screenshot.png. And then you might be wondering, well, what if I wanted to do something other than take a screenshot? Well, I have ideas for that too. Okay, and I think, yeah, if I send the problem with sending Discord thing here is that we already have a loop that's waiting forever, which is the RabbitMQ loop. So there's kind of like a problem of, if we just do the regular Discord stuff, we're going to need to wait on Discord. We can't really like send something. So I think it makes most sense to publish to RabbitMQ, and then we have a separate thing that will kind of put that stuff into the RabbitMQ side. Okay, so we'll have another publish here. And this queue, I think we will call it I think we need a branch, right? Okay, so if the file exists, then we're done, right? So when false is, we're essentially going to do nothing. But when we are done, we are going to set a variable. And the variable that we want to set is called, the thing that is connected to the loop is should loop. Okay, so we're going to set should loop. Right, we're going to set that to false. We're done. I think I'll put everything down here. Kind of, because the triangles are kind of like on the top and stuff like that, it kind of prefers this waterfall type of thing. Okay, so now we're done with the BabyAGI loop. Then we are going to publish a message, which should be published to AG, let's call it BabyAGI2 complete. Right. I think that should be the routing key. And yeah, hopefully we'll, I mean, there's a chance that multiple things are in place, but like that's a problem for later. For now, we will set the message to be, put something like file path, and then put screenshot.png. Okay, so we'll publish this message on the queue, and then we're pretty much done with the loop. This is going to be set when it's false, we do nothing. So the loop string should loop stays the same and continues. And we don't need to do anything else when it's done. Okay, so that's good. We should have a screenshot appearing and then a message in a new queue. And did this do the queue declare? I think it did. I'll double check this real quick. Actually, I haven't tried if we work with multiple channels. So I think we probably shouldn't. Yeah, that's probably not going to work. Okay. Or it will work. It's just not going to work if we do this. So I'm going to get rid of this. And yeah, we're just going to go straight to here. We're not going to be publishing the task list today. We'll do that in another thing. I do think we had a RabbitMQ consume here, and then the message with BabyAGI2. I see. So can we publish on a separate message? That's a good question. We'll see. We should see how that works. Now the problem here is mainly that if we look into the RabbitMQ components, consume is setting this, channel in the context, and then publish, uses channel basic publish. But the queue that's in the context is different than the queue that we are using. So anyway, I guess we'll try to find out. The more important thing is that BabyAGI starts working. That'll be kind of cool. Okay, so now we have the loop, right? Okay. Then when we're done with the loop, we return back to here, the message consume. And then we will want a RabbitMQ start consuming. Yeah, essentially. So we're going to just want to start kind of consuming, and then once this will run forever, essentially. So I think that's good. We can possibly run this now. Okay, so that compiled. Now let's copy it over. Okay, cool. So now it's there, and I will open up the other terminal. Is there a way to see the other terminal? Probably not. Okay, so let's open up terminal, which I'm going to put down here. Okay, and then I will SSH into the VM that we have. We will activate the virtual env. And there should be a quick button in here. And we can run Python babyagi.py. Okay, now it's going to Y Combinator and taking a screenshot. Okay, and if we open up the virtual machine, kind of keep tabs of what it's doing here. Okay, branch component has no attribute when false. That is done. I thought I fixed that, but maybe I fixed that in master. Okay, so let's fix that real quick. So branch component, when true, when false. Kind of doesn't initialize those things essentially. So we have to have a def init self cpx and a super self dot init. If I'm not mistaken. Oh, we don't need the self anymore. So super init. Then we don't need self. Then, so if essentially, if those things are none, I guess we don't need an init. They are already none. So, okay, so we have self condition, value. Yeah, we do need them anyway, right? So self visible message. Okay. Okay. Anyway, object has no attribute when false. So self dot when false, none. Self dot when true is equal to none. No, that will overwrite the self. I think we need to do it in here. So and get adder self when true is not none. That's what it will do, right? So if I have some object O, and O has some stuff, right? If I do O.foo, attribute error, but if I do get attr O foo or none, we'll get none. That makes it an optional thing. So if we have a when true, next will be when true. Else, if self not condition.value and get after self and false none is not none. So if this is false and we have a when false, then we're going to do when false. And then if not, we continue. If next is not none, we do that. And else, going to return none and none. We're done. Okay, so that was some circuits stuff that most people are not going to have to do when the new version comes out. Anyway, so let's recopy everything there. And run the BabyAGI. Okay, we still have the thing. Screenshot takes one positional image, but two are given. Oh, that's kind of dumb. Hold on. Did I do that? I think I did that. Agent component. If we look at screenshot, self.page.screenshot. A right screenshot. Python. Path equals that. Okay, so to make it easier for that, I think we'll have, so it's trying screenshot and then it's doing a path. And I think that's perfectly fine. So self.page.screenshot will be Screenshot. So this will take a path, right? And then we will do self.page.screenshot. And then we have to specify the path. We don't need like the other stuff like with buffers and things like that. It doesn't make sense in the browser tool that we have anyway. Okay, so I think that will be good. Let's update that and run it again. Maximum recursion depth exceeded. Maximum recursion depth exceeded. Is that the browser that is having a problem? File exists. Local variable next, reference before assignment. Okay. File exists. Let's open that. This is a normal component, so that should be fine. Okay, but do we have the screenshot? That's the important part. Or is there a problem? Actually, let's get rid of all this stuff. Okay, so let's get rid of everything here. Cool. And let's get rid of these Hacker News pages. Let's recopy that over, run it again, but that recursion depth is weird. Maximum recursion depth exceeded. Does that come from Playwright? Because I don't think I was doing any recursion. Yeah, it's pretty weird. Browser, maximum recursion depth exceeded. What is causing that to happen? It seems to be in the page content, so we can look in here. Look for page content. Res here. LM call. Maximum recursion depth exceeded. Is that because res should be just a string? So it's unable to run screenshot.png. But why? Let's see. So running the tool, doing the playwright thing. We have our action. And for Chrome, I think we should put on some music now that I'm mentioning it. It's kind of annoying, or not nice when it's like completely quiet and I'm thinking. Into space, that sounded. I don't. The lo-fi thing is kind of cool, but I'm just going to turn it down a bit. Okay, so let's get serious on this maximum recursion depth exceeded weirdness. So we are currently in the run tool of the NLP tool. Or no, there must be another. Okay, here we are. So we must be here. So running the tool browser. Tool browser. I'm getting this code, which is go to news.ycombinator.com, which is correct. Save screenshot. Self.page.screenshot. Save screenshot. Oh, that's why, because I'm in the deep. Yeah, that's gonna be kind of a problem. Okay, so the AI wants to call screenshot with this string, essentially. So, but when you call it, you have to use path. It doesn't know that. So it does this and it's going to fail. And then, it might eventually get it, but because it doesn't have the way to see the documentation, it's best to provide the way that it works. But if the way this thing kind of works in general is that I'm doing things inside of a page. So it's essentially actually using playwright. It's kind of like a weird hack. So if we do it this way, then that's not gonna work. So yeah, let's kind of hard code that one. So if not action starts with that, if action dot starts with screenshot, and we will essentially do self.page.save screenshot. I guess we can just do it here. We don't need this yeah, it's nice to have like a save screenshot if it happens to do that. But we'll do screenshot. Yeah, we'll just do the demo. Self.page. Save plus action. That way, if it tries to use screenshot, we're going to do save screenshot. And if it happens to use the proper screenshot, it would be setting path. And I do think that works perfectly fine. So let's do it this way. That should be fine. Okay, so there's a screenshot. It takes one positional argument, but two were given. Even I got it messed up. Page screenshot takes one positional argument, two were given. Is this like a bug in Playwright? It's like a bug in Playwright. Hold on. Okay, there is a screenshot of PNG here, so that's not what I wanted. This thing can go ahead. Okay, I was thinking here. Okay, so there is now a screenshot.png. Yeah, of the thing. Now, the error that it was saying was that I have given it one positional argument, but two were given. So the two arguments I was talking about are the self and the other thing, right? And it is page.screenshot. So it will give itself, but I'm guessing it's saying that it should take 0 position arguments. And there's like full page true or false, and that's another thing. So we could do the full page true, but for now I think we'll just leave it as the page. And if it needs to scroll somewhere, then we ask it to scroll. Why? Something's not right. Essentially, it's saying you need to use it like this, right? And it won't support, and like, because we're using it like this, but it says that's no good. So that's weird. Yet it works, right? Like there is a screenshot. So super weird, super weird. Okay, so there is a screenshot. Here we go. Let me just look for this on Google. Does somebody know what this means? No, that's not what that means. Yeah, people are using it like this. There's 0 issues with that. Go to this, screenshot that. Takes one positional argument, but 2 are given. Is the code a line or is it not a line? It could be that the action, yeah, this should be a line. Oh, and then I forgot to do else. That's what it is. Okay, so it was trying to take the screenshot twice essentially. Wonder if GPT-4 can figure that one out. Possibly. But anyway, so it has taken the screenshot, and now we have one other problem, which happens here. Saying like this next, which is this thing, is null, which is a weird issue. But we'll look into it. For now, yeah, Jen has not responded. Yeah, it won't respond because we haven't set up the response. But if we look at the queues, we don't have a response queue yet, so we haven't gotten the thing. And BabyAGI to consume hasn't finished, so we haven't act it. And that could be a thing. We've got to look into that later. Okay, loop component. Object has no attribute next, and that is because we are looping here. But okay, there's nothing to next, so we could fix it similar to the else, or I could just add a print or something like that. So I'll put print here, and then we'll put finished. Just print finished in all caps. That will be enough. Okay, so if we finish with all caps, then this should be good to go. And I think I need a faster computer here. Okay, so that's good. And one alternative to having a faster computer is to turn off this animation, so I think I'll do that. As you can see, it like freezes a lot. Where's that animation? Select this thing, and then there's this animation. I'm going to turn that off. It's still doing it. Why is it doing it? I'm going to turn that off. Select these things should not animate. There we go. Well, that makes it much faster. It's a nice animation, but I don't. When things get complicated, it's not going to work so well. Okay, so let's save and then publish this, and then run it. I like how I added completed there. Okay, print finished. Okay, so now it's finished and it's waiting for the next thing. RabbitMQ should show the messages have gone down. It is not. There we go. Okay, so it has acknowledged the message. It is now done. We are done with the task. In queues, there's now not the queue that we're hoping for. Okay, so now we have to deal with that other problem here. Okay, so this publish, going to BabyAGI 2 completed, executed, but the queue may not have been declared. So I think we can go in here and check to see get the channel. I'm not a fan of the BabyAGI, or not the BabyAGI, the RabbitMQ API for this kind of stuff. So creating a channel is super simple. So I'm guessing if the queue, I guess we don't have to, do we need to use the same channel for the publish? I don't think so. If we start consuming, connect, we're going to have a client. And if we publish, I think what we can do instead is check if there's a channel with the same queue. So we might need multiple channels for multiple queues, I think. So if context.get, we put this here. Is none, then we will do essentially when we connect, we have a client we call client channel. Yeah. So if there's no channel for that queue, we will go context.rabbitMQ client dot channel right, channel dot queue declare and then set context rabbit MQ channel self.q.value to this particular channel. Now we have a channel per queue, and then if we do that, then this works fine. And then if since we've declared the queue, I guess we don't need this rabbit MQ thing anymore. It doesn't really matter. And our publishing. So if we have that queue, we'll get that channel. Then we use basic publish from there. Okay, so that's good. This, if we reload, nothing really changed. We can save and compile it. And then recopy it over. Cancel the BabyAGI thing. We're going to have to make a poison pill type of thing as well, so that it ends when we want it to end. That's a problem for later. Okay, so we're consuming. Let's go back to Gen. Let's say Gen AI. Go to Hacker News and take a screenshot. Is Gen running? Gen is not running. Something's wrong. Ignoring exception and on message. There's something wrong with the publish. I think I know what that is. That is that RabbitMQ needs to keep the channel open. It has to send heartbeats, but Discord has its own loop. So there's two things that want to have a loop and stuff like that. So it's like kind of annoying. we can do this again. So she'll respond when she's done. Go to management. Look at BabyAGI 2. There is a message. Look at here. We are doing the thing. And then we can see if a new queue pops up with task completion when it is done. Yeah, you can see how it's like imagining a task list where now it's going to go and analyze the top 20 like articles and summarize their content and all that stuff. Okay, so now we have a BabyAGI 2 completed with a message, file path, screenshot, PNG. Okay, so now we need to get Jen to respond to that. And this is where things get a little complicated because Discord has their loop and they want to be in control of the thread. But we have a separate thing, which is like, oh, things are done now and I need to respond, right? And that's kind of going to have to run on another thread. So let's look really quick. Pika non-blocking connection. Is there a non-blocking connection? Yeah, so it doesn't. So you got to do your own type of thing, which is, I guess, kind of fine. So we're going to have a thread for consuming things from the RabbitMQ. Yeah, probably not going to be too crazy, but it's just something we've got to do in the gen code. Okay, so we're just going to go here and we'll make a class, RabbitMQ responder, which is a threading.thread. And the thread let me see if there's an example of using this threading, because that would be a good place to start. No. Okay. So asynchronous consumer example. That's what we want. A lot of code. Python thread example. Let's just do the simple thing. So I can create a thread, which I think needs a run, but I can't tell. Thread. And we're extending thread. Extend thread. Class. Okay. So we have our custom thread, and we need to override the run function. Yeah, like I thought, and that's all I wanted to find out. Let's go back here. We have our def init, right? Self, and it's going to do some other stuff, and then def run, which runs things, and I think it it's just a void thing. You can sleep and then print, and then you start the thread, right? And then you can join the thread if you want to wait. So now down in the main function, we have our connection here, And what I'm gonna do is take all of this out of here, and we'll put rabbit MQ thread is, what did I call it? I called it rabbit MQ responder. Right, then rabbit MQ thread dot start and rabbit MQ thread dot join. I should run kind of variable here, a little global, should run equals true. Then in the run here, we have that global should run, which is going to be true by default. And while should run, we're going to do our stuff. And then when it's time to end, should run becomes false. We're going to end, and then the bot will then end. Now in the init, we're going to take the connection stuff that we did before, right? And then this rabbit MQ connection and channel, which we do need elsewhere, we'll put here. And we'll declare these as global. Or we can make them static things. It's the same thing, but I'll just kind of keep the code quick and dirty for now. Okay, so we'll have our pub channel. This is where we're going to publish stuff, right? And then our consume channel, or maybe call it sub channel. So when we do connection.channel, then subchannel.q declare, and our queue that we're going to use is called BabyAGI2 complete. Is that correct? I think so. Completed. Very important to have a good memory, unfortunately. My RAM is from 1985. Back in those days, you know, you had 32 kilobytes of RAM, and that's what they installed. So, okay, so we got BabyAGI2 completed. That's the sub channel. I will set those globals for now, and then self channel is equal to pub channel, self.sub is equal to sub channel, and then we need to consume, because we are in a consumer society and we must consume. That is the way of things. Okay, so if we go to the RabbitMQ thing, I have the consume stuff. So when we connect, we create our blocking connection. Then when we consume, we do we declare our queue, and then we do basic consume like that. And then we have to do channel start consuming. Okay, so we gotta do that, and then sub channel dot start consuming is what we need. And this is our sub channel basic consume. We're going to use BabyAGI2 completed. We are going to consume. And then in our message callback, we're going to call process message. We're going to have self. We're going to have the channel, the method, the properties, and the body. And we don't want to start consuming from here. We want to start consuming in here. So self.subchannel start consuming. And this is happening in a separate thread. So this will stop, right? Like it stops here at start consuming until we're done consuming. But anyway, so now we're going to process the message. And essentially, just like we do here, I'm going to send the message response. Okay, so send the message response here. Yeah, message.reply is what we need to do. So this is where things get a little complicated. So we have, we don't have a message. So how in the world in this Discord library do you respond when you don't have a message? If I wanted to respond to a message, and if I had one, that's cool. But I need to reply, and I don't have a message. I think I need to so we need a little bit more than just the message here. So for example, well, in theory, right? Like we would have a channel that we're going to respond to. And I think we have that. Yeah, message channel ID has a thing that we want, right? And then we're going to need a, I don't know, like a message ID or something like that. A reference ID, maybe just reference. Message dot, I have no idea. Possible to go to the definition of reply? I guess not. So let's do that. Go to Discord, Discord. Yeah, Discord. Okay, so we have a message here. The message has a so the message has some stuff. Look at the outline. Okay, where are we at? We are at, okay, so attachment. We don't care about attachment. We do possibly care about that message reference, but yeah, so the message itself has a reference, the message that this message references. Okay, let's look at reply. What does reply do? because we're going to have to do what reply does, but differently. Reply. Does it have a reply? Studio Code sucks. I need to use this in a real editor. Yeah, let's do this in a real editor real quick. Hold on. So let's take Gen offline and do a charm. Get rid of Visual Studio Code. Project, new window. Okay, so now we're in a real editor, so this thing should be much easier. And okay, so now we should have our structure, which I can put down here. This is where I like it. Or not, fine. Yeah, okay, cool. So we go in here. Let's get rid of this. I'll just put the string in here. Okay. So we have a message, right? So there is a message.reply. So let's go to that message.reply in Discord message. Sure. And then it says self.channel send content reference self. That's essentially all it is. And then send uses this reference in a couple of places. So if reference is not none, it changed the reference to a dictionary, so that's good. But if we don't have an actual message, this is going to fail. And so I think this library could be better, but it doesn't matter too much. Okay, so if this reference is not exactly a method, we'll just have to do it ourselves. And then this thing does a state HTTP send message. Channel ID params. Okay, and then this handle message parameters is a lot. But that is maybe to be expected. Parameters. Well, anyway, instead of getting bogged down in this, we can just do the more simple thing. So let's start gen up again. Global should run is assigned before global declaration. Yes, because main does not need global. I'm done. There we go. So let's start him up. Red init is not called. Need to make sure we do the super call. Okay. Okay, so that's good. I think we've consumed the message, possibly. Or no, we have consumed it but not acted. So Yeah, probably a thing that we should stop that for now. Let's finish this process message. So when we get a message, it's going to have a screenshot in it. But it's running on another thing. So we need to get it out of the server that's running the thing. We can put the screenshot in the queue. That's a bad idea in general. So it's best if we upload that screenshot somewhere that it can be referenced, and then we have a URL here that we can then attach into the RabbitMQ. So the full version of this will probably have like cloud stuff. For now, because I can SCP into this machine, that's what I'm going to do. So we are going to work our way through this now. So we have os.system. We're going to SCP 192.168.64. Let me try that real quick here. So what I want to do is SCP that machine, projects, click button, screenshot.png here. Okay, so that's how that's going to work. I'm going to do that plus the JSON.loads body. I think it should be file name, and we need that stuff. No, we do need that stuff. We want to put that here. Right, and then we then do how shouldn't you not today. Okay, so we have now the file exists, right? And then we need to reply. Can't reply, but we can get a channel and send. But we don't know what that channel is, but is there a way to get a channel? A way to get to channel. Because you can talk to Jen in multiple channels. So I need to be able to look up the channel by ID. So let's see if the AI knows what I'm talking about. So anyway, so we're going to so copy file locally. Gotcha. Then let's get the channel of the message. Discord channel of the message. Discord bot get channel. We don't have Discord bot, do we? Just Discord. So what we want is something like Discord. There is a Discord bot. Discord bot user. I see. Okay, so Discord bot dot get channel let's introduce a variable. We'll call this message. Do message channel. Then we can channel equals that, and then channel dot send. We can send a content, embed, file, whatever. So we'll send finished. Here is the screenshot. Then file, Discord file, message.file name, and then os.unlink the file name. So hopefully that's not too terrible. And it could work. Yeah, I think that could work. Okay, so that means that when we send the message, we're going to have to do the channel ID. But I don't think there was a reference. Ooh, there is a reference. So, or maybe there is a reference. We've got to check and see if the AI is full of it. Yeah, we can't do this, but it can't take a message ID or something like that. It just needs an actual message. So the reference is going to be something we're going to have to figure out how to do some other time, because we can't get one unless that partial message. What is a reference? Got a message ID, channel ID. Is this easy to make? Message, channel, guild. Channel ID is real. Guild, fail if not exists. True, guild is optional. So, okay, let's do that instead. So we have our reference is virtual, or no, what was it called again? This thing is a message reference. Max shift keys kind of sucks. Message ID is reference, and channel ID message channel. Okay, and let's import that. And then reference is equal to the reference. And in here we have to put the message ID. Message ID. I have a feeling it doesn't. It must have an ID. Yeah, because this is like message channel ID, so I would expect message to have an ID. So let's just double check that real quick. Message in Discord message does have an ID. Cool. Okay, cool. So that's that, and then we can respond with this and get that. So we need to now copy these in our response. So over here, when we publish, our literal string is like that. We need to do some things to the dictionary. So I do have a set dict value here. Okay, and let's give ourselves some room. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Yeah, so this will be hard-coded. So we're not going to accept any, so people can't say like, set the screenshot to be whatever. That's going to be like hard-coded thing. So we'll have an empty dictionary as a start. Or no, I think we can do file name is screenshot.png. We're starting with that simple dictionary. And double check, I said, yeah, file name. Okay, cool. Then we need a channel. Okay, and the channel value, I think we'll maybe add a couple of variables and then just set that to those value things. So let's put this here, that there. I need to be running less stuff on the computer. Okay, so let's put it here, that, and then we'll get variable. Two variables down here for the channel and the reference. Okay, so let's put this to be channel. And this to be reference. And people who eventually will be using this will be providing like all this stuff nicely wrapped up into a single component, so you don't have to deal with all this minutia. But as we're developing it here, that's kind of what we want. Channel reference, and we want to set the dict value after we get these two things. So we'll put this here. Moving things is taking a really long time. Now, true, this is probably the biggest kind of craziness that I have so far. Okay. So we'll connect this to here, connect that to that, and connect this to here. So the channel, want to connect the channel first to this here. Okay. And then another set dict value. Where the value will be the reference. And I'll look up the key here, and this dict out comes this thing. That goes there. And then this goes here. And Okay, so the message here is a string. I'm going to change that real quick. Okay, so let's open that. So this is going to be an any. And for now, I'm just going to publish the JSON.dumps of the message value and import. Kind of fair that it's like always a JSON, but it's not necessarily that way. So should be a little bit flexible there. Anyway, so if we reload this node, it now should say that it takes an any instead. And we can put that in there. Okay, cool. So I think that does this, but these variables are never defined. So we need to go and do that way up here. So when we consume it, or actually one thing that, since we could just add did I have a JSON thing? We have parse JSON and get value. Just got to do it twice. I think that's fine. So let's do that. We're almost good. Almost good. Okay, so we have this defined variable here. JSON. So I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to move these things over here. And then put it together. So we're going to do this a couple of times. It's a little bit wasteful, but that's what we need to do to get that reference and channel. So the JSON string is going to be the message. And the key that we want is going to be the channel. We're going to have to do like a performance review of the code here to get this to be a little bit faster. It's not too bad. Then we want to define a variable. We're going to set the value to that. And the name will still be channel. We hook that up like that. Cool. Then we're going to want to parse the JSON and get the value one more time. So the message is the JSON stir, and the key is the reference. Okay, we'll do that right after there. Then we define the last variable that we need. Okay. Then the reference goes here. The value goes here. There we go. Then after this, we start the concat string stuff here. Okay, so I think that's all. Let's just clean it up a little bit. Just moving things up over here. And that's good enough for now. We don't need to be too crazy. Our checks take a long time when the graph gets this big. But anyway, so that's all it takes. Got to simplify this a little bit, I think. But anyway, so that should compile. Now we can copy it over. Now let's stop this. Start it again. Okay, so now let's close and let's do something other than Hacker News real quick. I think let's do lobsters. Lobsters is like Hacker News, but better. But does Jen know what that is? Am I running the bot? I am. Oh, wait a second. Okay, so we have the publish on message here. Then we have process message here. Yeah, I think we're good to go. What is this? Okay, so there is a message on the thing, and that might not work. So let's do a try all these things, and then just an empty accept. Message. Put the body. Yeah, something simple like that should be good enough. And property name enclosed in double quotes. Expecting property name enclosed in double quotes, and that's yeah, that makes sense. Let me just double check that is something that we do here. I think so, yeah, because we're dealing with JSON now, so that's fine. Okay, cool. So this is running, it's consuming, and now Jen is running and consuming. So let's say Jen AI, go to lobster.rs, take a screenshot. And let me use a lowercase g. And it failed. Failed because pop from empty DQ. Pop from empty DQ. Okay, so we are here. So we're on this thing, this publish. Let's grab it MQ channel, which is here, which we set as the pub channel. It's empty. Is it because it's on another thread? Did we start it? I think we did. Let's check that real quick. Thread start. So we have started it. We're running it. We're giving it some time, so should have had time to initialize things. There we go. So we have our threading is in an unnecessary place. Let's put that up here. Okay. Now, could it be because it's in a separate thread? I don't think so. MTTQ, let's see what see what the Googles have to say about this. Let's do here. Lost error. So till the time the job gets processed, there are many heartbeats missed and the connection is gone. Disable heartbeats. Basic consumer threaded. This is what they recommend you do. You set your blocking connection, bind, you do basic consume, start consuming, then you have all your threads and you join them. And are we not doing that? Okay, on message, we do the work in a thread. Add callback thread safe. That's kind of annoying. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. I have one message in queue. It's all just on the gen side, that's the problem. So nothing there yet. And we do this one first, so it's not like there could be multiple. Could it be that we need multiple? Like multiple connections? That could be a thing. Connection, then softbar con2, connection. Be a thing. Doubt it. None. Let's go back to gen. Try that again. Just getting started on this. Okay, so that's interesting. We can look at here. We are doing the thing. We can look at the bot. We have gone to lobsters. We have finished. But is she going to consume? Coroutine message send was never awaited. Okay, so we need to async IO dot run. Right. So we need to have async IO. I have my functions. Just got to get event loop. That's annoying. Is there a simpler way? Let's look at the actual documentation. So if we have an async function, which I don't think we can have, I mean, I can give that a shot, but I don't think we can have an async on thing. How do I call it? It's kind of async IO run some async function. I can create a task and then do that. And that's kind of fine. I wouldn't mind doing the sending in a background. You can sleep. You can time out running in threads. Scheduling from other threads. So I got to run coroutine thread safe. So that's probably what I have to do because I'm running inside of a different thread. So I need an async coroutine. Then I need a loop. Okay. So let's add async IO here. So we do have async IO. We should have a loop over here. And then when we're processing the message, we do async IO dot run coroutine thread safe. Yeah, and then just do that. Then give it a loop. Then we delete the file name, which we want to do after that has finished. But does run coroutines does that wait? Return a future to wait for the result from another thread. Yeah, so it can be like future dot result. Timeout equals 10. 10 seconds. I don't know what timeout's supposed to be. Result timeout. Args timeout. The number of seconds to wait. Okay. So I think that could now work, possibly. Error processing message. None type has no attribute send. None type has no attribute send. We are trying to send channel. Get the channel. This message does have a channel, and we've gotten it, and it is still none. What is the channel we are talking to Jen from? This Zybo channel should have an ID, I think. So ID is inbox notification settings. If we edit the channel, this is the channel. Okay. Why can it not get to the channel? Channel reference 5636. So they are different. Could it be that I mixed up this? So you set channel here, reference here. Okay, so I didn't mess up. I didn't mix them up backwards when I set them. And then we are putting channel into let's make sure key the value. Okay, so the channel is going into channel, and then the reference is going into reference. Is there a way to see which ID this thing has? Copy message link. So it should be 556 is the channel, and 936 is the message, right? If we look here, 556 is the channel, 936 is the message. So that looks okay, but it's returning none. What circumstances does it return none? ID is now position only. So connection get channel ID. That's annoying. That's very annoying. Let's try that again. Maybe a timing thing. What if it might be a timing thing, so maybe we do time.sleep or something like that. So if we time 1, we'll do that. Yeah, none type has no attribute send. So there's no channel. Discord dot. Definitely need the Discord bot to do anything. Getting channel does not do anything. How do what channels do I have? Hit all channels. How about that? Okay. So the channels would be a list of different channels. And let's import PDB and see what we have here. Okay, so logging in, getting a message. Oh, we're getting an old message now, so things are going to be a little weird. But okay, so channels. L is equal to list of channels. List channels. Channels is a generator object. That be a. Okay, so we have a few things. And a what? So foo is a list of stuff. Okay, and then the channel that we were looking for was this one. So if we do foo 0 is that one. Chan is chan in foo if chan ID equals that. Do chan 0 dot send and we can't do await stuff in PDB, so that's not good. Is it something stupid like, no, that's an int. Did I misspell it or something? We got the channel there. Channel is none. The channel and channels for C and channel. If that is that, then channel C goes fine. Do we have to do that for some odd reason? Be really weird. Really weird. Let's try it. Let's purge that message from the queue. Queue is completed. Let's purge. Okay, now we're back to 0 messages on the queue. And then let's ask Jen to go take the non-orange site. Okay. This is doing its thing. It is finished. Error processing message. Error processing message. And I printed the exception, and the exception is empty. And Jen's not responding. Why? Why is... Okay. We gotta just print it, I guess. That's probably the best thing. So channel is this channel thing, or we can do things the new way. Okay, and then print channel done. Or maybe like no channel found. And we'll put message channel. Yeah. And if we do find the channel, then we print, oh, hey, what do you know? The channel exists. Okay. Then we set our reference. Message ID is reference, channel ID is channel. That's what it was, right? Message ID, channel ID, optional guild. Then we have our channel, then .send. Send has content. And then we can give it a file. It seems pretty reasonable. References, reference. Mine is too long. Okay, that's all it is. Okay, so now let's see. So print created a reference. Send message. Started send message. Finished send message. Right, and then print deleting file, or deleted file. It's always better to go after, because if there was an exception, which we do know there is a case here, based off of what you see after makes it easier to know where you stopped. Okay. So let's do that. File path screenshot.png. Am I consuming the wrong thing? Error started to send a message. Started send message, and I'm getting the exception in the result. So there's some exception that I can not see. What if I made an async def send message self channel message file thing? And I replace that self.send message. Reference. Reference. There we go. And in here, I have a try. Do the channel send. The message. And the file. And reference. Accept Maybe it's not an exception. That would, well, it has to be an exception now, right? I mean, I guess you can raise a string, right? Okay, whatever. But we have this send message here. It's used here. We have our, so this will always finish essentially because we catch it, we print it, but we're always successful in that. So that should clear the queue if we do have other things. Started send message. Error processing message. Okay, so it's not so much Discord as it's a threading thing. The error is a timeout error. Well, it must be. I'm not sure if that was 10 seconds, but it did seem like a long time. Why? There's no response, right? Yeah, didn't respond. That's that. This works fine. Now we just got to deal with thread issues with, you know, 2 different message loops. Or I could have another. Nah, that doesn't work. How in the world am I going to get around this? No, I do have a channel. And the Zybo channel is there. The reference was created. Started sending the message, and then it must have timed out or something like that. The loop is here, which I have gotten. Where do I get the loop? I got the loop here. So this is the async IO event loop. What role is the problem? The sub channel is what we are consuming. It's not like I'm consuming the wrong thing. IDs do exist. Let me do something about that. So if I try this, it's gonna, if we do that, we're just gonna return. So that should get rid of that message from the queue. We've got the screenshot, created reference, we started it, 9, 10, error. Okay, so it is literally just a timeout. Not that there is an issue. So we should check. Right. Message. Oh, I forgot to async this. Oh, wait. Send message here. Finish to send message. So let's see how that works. Started send message. We don't see the send message. Just timeout. Okay, so maybe I'm holding the async IO thing wrong. Okay, async IO run from thread. Run coroutine thread safe, coroutine loop. That's what I'm doing. Get it by the result. That's what I'm doing. You get the event loop like that. I mean, I guess I could do, instead of using global loop, I can do async IO event, get event loop, and get running loop. There's two loops. I guess we could try with get running loop if get that one doesn't work. There is no current event loop in thread 1. Okay, then how am I supposed to get the event loop of another thread? I pass it into the thread. Okay, that I can do. Okay, so we'll have a loop, right? Then self.loop is the loop. Then in here, we run it with self.loop. Then at the bottom, we async IO get running loop. Pass it in here. Okay. Oh, running event loop. Bastards. And that's because this is not async. Okay, so is that going to be okay? Async IO. I guess so. We'll call this async def main. Right. Then if main is main, then we run main. Runtime error. Async IO run cannot be called from a running event loop. That is happening here. So Discord bot is a loop. If that's the case, I could pass Discord bot in here. Okay. So I guess that makes sense. That's kind of what I was wondering, if it was going to be okay or not. Coroutine was never awaited. So disk bot here. Coroutine thread safe. Client object has no attribute call soon. Call soon thread safe. There's still no response. Call soon thread safe. I'm calling call coroutine thread safe. What in the world is this bot? Okay, client. A client is a class. It has a run. Does it have a run? But it has a loop, but that is probably different loop. Yeah, you can join, Paul, if you want. Now let me send you the link. Okay, so client is on the Discord. Hey, Paul.
Yeah. Hey. So let me help you rubber duck this. Ideally, start at the beginning.
Okay.
So
hold on.
You're building a Discord bot, and
yes,
you have trouble because of something.
Yes. So the trouble is that Discord is an async IO thing, right? So it has its own loop. This Discord bot run, well, that's an async IO run, right?
Okay.
Now, RabbitMQ is, doesn't really care about threads, but it needs you to kind of have threads, right? Because it's completely blocking. So we have two things. One, we need to send messages to RabbitMQ. We publish, right?
And you could get a RabbitMQ client that is using async IO.
Such things exist?
Apparently, yes.
Oh, well, that would make life easier. But I'm kind of.
Yeah, let's make it work.
I think it should work.
This.
Yeah, like it should work with this. It's just not. Maybe maybe it's not ideal, but it should work. So right now it's saying that coroutine send message was never awaited.
Makes sense.
But I'm trying to run coroutine thread safe.
And it will give you a future.
Yes. And then I result the feature.
Okay, let's see, what do we have here? Loop attribute cannot be accessed in non-async context. Consider using either an asynchronous main function and passing it to async IO run, or using async So one thing that you did before when you tried the async IO main was that you kind of changed globals without declaring them to be global. So they were essentially local variables that you flip-flopped.
These ones?
Yeah, they should run, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, those, they start as true, so it's only like this. But this is an if statement.
Okay. Let's try it with the async IO thing.
So instead of the loop?
We can't access that loop, can we? Like, is that complaining
actually,
about...
look at use bot. And then we, in here, use self.bot.loop.
That's still not in an async.
Okay, fine. I will not do should run true here. But yeah, like I'm not running it directly. I'm running it inside of a. Like
I mean, it's not showing the error messages we had before, so that is...
Maybe I fixed it. Great. We have a screenshot. Cool. What do we want it to do? Jen, go to the BabyAGI Twitter account and see how it looks. Although that's a weird objective, but I'll get it.
Yeah, people may want to do weird things.
Yeah. Okay, and this thing is still running, right? What did it do? Do we have a message on the queue? No.
Interesting that the some subscriptions don't die away automatically.
Yeah, that could be a problem later on. Okay, so I think we fixed one problem.
I guess that's because we had set auto-delete to false while we're trying to consume from a single queue.
Yeah, we'll have to do that later. Okay, so this publish is now no longer working.
Is it? I mean, didn't we get the screenshot just now? Like from Lobsters?
No, yeah, this was from one of the old messages, right? So it sent a reply to the old message, and I asked it a new one, and we can see that there's no messages on the BabyAGI2 queue. So that must mean that it sent the sure thing, but this basic publish failed. Now it is true that I'm making this connection inside of this thread. So that might not be the best way of going about things. Since I have a different connection, there's no reason that these have to be here.
You're using a blocking connection.
Yeah. Does Pika have anything new? Like I haven't.
Yeah, I'm just looking. If there's a blocking connection, there maybe is a non-blocking one. There's a select connection adapter, tornado connection adapter, and twisted connection adapter. Okay, so
let's go up here where these are none. Those. Okay, so now I'm doing it on the main thread. So let's see if it's like a threading thing. It could be a threading thing.
Finished. Here's the screenshot. But that is still lobsters.
Yeah, it's still lobsters, and it's a. Why did it only process one message if there was two, or did it not acknowledge? Oh, I think maybe I haven't implemented acknowledgement.
So it's redoing the message.
Redoing the thing. Yeah. Let's get started. Stage on the queue. There's a publish, a deliver. Still just lobsters here though. Queue is empty. And no messages. Okay. Why is it not publishing now?
I guess it's this. It feels like we're missing something trivial, like in general on this.
Yeah.
Fact that I think we're missing some kind of internal queuing component that can pass around rich objects.
Well, I mean,
so that getting a message can kind of trigger something on the async IO queue or execution, and that could then pass on something into the RabbitMQ thread that then would do things.
Actually, this blocking connection being here is actually kind of a problem. So what if we just don't do that? For the publish, we are going to do the channel.
I mean, oh, so it just reconnects and publishes, and then maybe
publish, discuss. Because it times out. Like, that's one of the things. It'll totally time out.
You can just close the connection. I mean, that's not the best way, but I think for our current testing, that could be good enough.
That. Can I keep replying? Okay, how do we act? I forget. How do we act?
Well, on with the stump thing that we had, it was just message.ag, or you set to auto-ag.
Okay, we want this basic ag. So in our code here, we have a channel. So we do this. CH. Need a method. Process message. CH method. and the channel. This channel is a different channel. Or is it something that got sent? Okay, so we'll have to have the other channel. So chan, or something like that. I don't know, it was originally that, and then we'll have chan. Many channels, too many channels. And it's so great to have a real IDE. Tells you mistakes before you're gonna do them. Okay, so now that should be the last time that happens. And okay, if I tell it to go to the Twitter, it says sure. Okay. And this is still waiting. This has BabyAGI 2 has a consumer app. But I don't see any activity in the browser. This was working like not that long ago. That's why there's things in here. What is this? Bytes got stir instead. That could be a problem.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Yeah. Actually, let's stop BabyAGI.
I mean, maybe that's the cursed part of it at the moment.
Yeah, maybe. It could be. Okay. So now, if I send it again, and look at the
so the sure thing hard-coded.
Okay, so that did go up. There's one message in the queue now. Okay, so I think we must have a bug here. And it could be we have the file exists, but then we don't have like a, we don't delete the file. I have this strange sleep here. Okay, so we set that when, so if the file exists, screenshot, when it exists, we're going to do this, and okay, where is the agent components? Let's go back here. File exists, and let's make a delete file. These are all great things to have in utils.
Yeah.
Delete file. Okay. And then put here. This exists. If that exists, then os.unlink file name value. And then let's refresh this.
Invalid syntax. What was that about it being great to have a real IDE to tell you about mistakes?
Yeah, exactly. Let's see.
Did you put it? It
Should I
should
call it?
come up in the same thing.
Delete file. There we go. Delete file. Do I have another delete file? Yes, I do. Okay, yeah. This is now like dog slow. I think we need to, brush out our graph traversal skills.
Yeah. Should. Yeah, I guess it's like one of the things that needs to be done in the body widget refactoring now. We know that we've removed all the unnecessary code. We can look at the code that still is there, that might be improved.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I think the
Traversing a small graph shouldn't take that long, even if it's implemented in JavaScript.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure because it happens when like you move, I think it's like the check to see that everything is connected, which is not something you need to do every time you move stuff. It's something you need to do only in the compile.
Yeah.
And also something that I don't particularly find any value in. Okay, so now we're going to do that. I'm going to go to the Twitter, take a screenshot. Yeah, that looks like a screenshot. Or not a screenshot, but looks like it went to the thing. At least. And then
that's finished.
Completed.
No such file directory screenshot PNG.
Yeah, because I'm an idiot. Yes, it would help to not be stupid and delete things right after you publish them. Yes.
That's a good point. We probably should delete it at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. So over here, let's use the mouse to be a little faster.
Oh, yeah, that is actually quite more complicated than I thought it was.
Yeah, it doesn't have to.
You probably want to move your like output window to the side because again your screen is much wider than it is high.
Yeah, but I'm also only kind of using these things anyway. So anyway, I gotta not move things because it causes the graph to be revalidated. Okay, so we are doing the define variable. Save the screenshot. Then should loop is here, right? So should loop is always set to true in the beginning. Right. Then we're here. Okay. So I think.
Can you do that message publishing as an RPC, so only once the message gets acknowledged, it continues?
We could do an RPC type of thing.
Because that way we get, like, we can delete it
when we're done.
When we're done, yeah. Especially once it has been successfully consumed.
connect that there. And then put that here. So, I mean, it's kind of a like race condition type of thing. So we need to do something smarter here in the real world. So when you get a message to take a screenshot, we got to kind of create a unique file name for that screenshot, and then probably, like never delete it or something like that. Having this overriding thing is a race condition if there's many people talking to Jen at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, what we would do in that case is we would like
Push it up
write
to the
to
cloud.
an S3-like thing,
Yeah.
get that, and so it's writing to different places and not just a single one.
Yeah, to do for another day, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now we are consuming. The queues are not empty. Jen cannot run because there's no screenshot ng, so let's purge the queue. Okay, there should be 0 messages now. Cool. Let's restart Jen. Okay, so let's do that one more time because it got the screenshot. Getting the BabyAGI thing. And the screensaver is kind of annoying, but it doesn't matter. And what is BabyAGI thinking right now? What in the world is this?
What? It failed on a
Sorry.
Node.js thing?
Yeah. It's like there's something wrong with Playwright that causes that to happen randomly. It seems like not so randomly. Let's restart the browser or something.
Interesting.
Yeah, no,
tries to screenshot the timeline.
Yeah. It's like, nope, can't do that. So it'll figure it out, I think. But no, why is this happening?
And that
File
is while
exists.
this execute.
Hold on. I think I forgot something. File exists has nothing after it. What? File exists.
Local variable next reference before assignment.
Did I forget to connect the loop? Why? I think I fixed that with the loop. What is output agent status, right? Agent status, which is here. Then there's no false. There's no next. I didn't undo the false thing, right? Anyway, like this error is like easily fixable. It's adding a print. to the next.
Yeah, let me check.
And let me actually turn on turbo boost. That might make things a little bit easier.
I think it's...
Good enough. It's like some sort of weird bug with the, if you don't define everything when you make a branch or something like that, the else and the after branches.
I mean, for some reason we have multiple check all nodes connected.
Yeah. I think we should get rid of the whole check all nodes thing. Because it doesn't make sense when you have a branching ability, and maybe you have disconnected things because you don't want to run them anymore. I think that's perfectly fine to have.
I think it's the check all compulsory imports connected thing that's messing things up. But no, that's also only run when you save and compile. Okay, let me try to figure out where it is.
An empty sequence. Oh, okay. So now it's doing the thing that it almost never does, which is say that it's done. And now it's running into some problem. Okay. So I changed the prioritizer to, or the task creator to output finished when it's done. And I think the task prioritizer doesn't know what to do in that case. Taking the max of an empty sequence. Prioritizer, call DQ. What do I call max? Okay, so here. So prioritizer should, if task list.value is empty, do nothing. If not, there's no task list. Self not prioritized. Value is equal to the MPDQ. Okay, so now when it finishes, it will produce an empty prioritized task, and that should work. Okay. That's a lot more stuff than it needs to do. Why is it trying to log in?
In order to get rid of the notification stuff.
It's not a bad idea, but you don't need to log in now. How much longer until this thing launches? Because I actually want to watch that. Because it's either going to be spectacular when it explodes, or spectacular when it lands.
Yeah, I guess it's like anyone's guess, because like yesterday, they will probably stop it from launching like minutes before it's scheduled to.
No, were they mentioning there's some sort of issue they're tracking?
And they had an issue yesterday, so they stopped it from launching, and they will probably find another one.
It's a lot of stuff.
The local variable next reference before assignment.
Why does
Can you
that
check?
happen?
Can you take a look at file exists?
Yeah, file exists is super simple.
It shouldn't do anything with next, does it?
Yeah. It's just that.
So that would mean that it tries to do, like, that would mean that local variable next reference before assignment comes from the execution loop.
Yeah.
And that
So the file
makes
exists
even
is
less sense.
here. So after the file exists is the branch component, essentially. So the
Yes.
file does not exist. So it's probably running when false or something. And I tried to fix this. So it was failing to run an empty when false. So
Can you open up your DevTools so we can see what exactly it is that is causing that really slow re-render?
yeah.
Yeah, let's see.
Next. Okay, so
Why don't you
okay.
set
Yeah.
next to none, just like as a default value?
Yeah. Very good. Well, I think if we update it, it shouldn't be like that. It should be something else. Okay, now it's doing just a normal screenshot. That's good. What in the world is this thing?
I think that's just when it fails and ends. I think we should not care about that particular output. Okay, scroll up because the actual error is there. Max arc
sequence.
in empty sequence.
Did I not fix that just now? X. Pull it here. I'm checking if task list value. If that's an empty, then this should be false. Be more explicit.
Just yeah, it's len.
Oh,
but then you create still. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was doing the right thing, but then I didn't return. So anyway, this is more explicit, so it's better. Potentially, when I've had problems almost always that BabyAGI just never finishes. So that's kind of what's happening here. Like now it finally finished because it sees that it needs to do the thing and it knows that it needs to finish, so it finishes. And then I have it so that when it's finished, then it returns an empty task list. Okay. And there we go. That's
yes, the screenshot. It hasn't loaded yet.
Okay. Can you show me how it looks after 3 seconds? That would be slightly better. So today we're just going to do screenshots. If this works, then we're done. But I have an idea of, if you ask it for something that's not a screenshot, well, then it needs to communicate that. And it can communicate that with a... why is it not done?
Yeah, I think before we get further than just screenshots, we need to figure out why exactly it takes forever to update the circuits diagram.
What's it doing now?
Okay. Does the go-to in screenshot and doesn't introduce await? I'm not even sure whether it can introduce await the way how you've done things.
Good point. How do you play right?
I think you just
wait seconds. Can you do page dot wait?
yeah, looking at test timeouts, I guess.
You have to add wait page. The wait.
I guess you could just. There was something with a wait after or something, where you could introduce a wait after every step. Like you could do that manually.
Back to the thing. I'm going to print something here.
And it also looks like it isn't.
What is the key? I'm kind of wondering. Okay. BabyAGI 2 is fine. Completed. Also weirdly fine. Is here. You can ask a gem to do something. Okay. Sending message. That's good. Finished. Parse use on get value. On the cat string. Delete file.
Yeah, the last one says.
I know it.
File does not exist.
I know what we're doing. We set the variable to false, and we declare the variable up here, but we don't set the variable to true when we get a new message.
Oh.
Okay, so we consume, we get all the stuff, the loop. So somewhere before the loop, we need to set. Okay, so let's do this. Let's have the get be where it is. But then add a little set ahead of it. Okay, so let's get rid of this thing. Then we add a set variable component. I'm going to set should loop to true to reset it. And we should have a, like a better way of doing that. This is kind of too low level. But I think when we like I have it all exposed like this for experimentation purposes, really. we should have like a like a single BabyAGI component that does the entire loop and all these things inside.
Yeah, it's still very much I've spent a lot of time on things. Let's see, can I get some useful information from a not as big file? Or is it going to be something else?
Okay, we are now consuming. I'll just keep an eye on that. We'll go here, do that again. Keep an eye on everything. Executing set variable component. This is me. That's weirdly taking a long time. Or perhaps define variable component should be initializing the value every time you do it. Probably shouldn't be because it's kind of like a defined global thing, so it's like a little weird.
Yeah, we should
it is
have.
Stuck in set. Why is it?
Don't we have a set?
We do have a set.
Yeah.
And I'm calling set, and we're stuck inside set variable component. Why are we stuck in set variable component? It must be in an infinite loop of some sort. A mutable variable has a property that's calling the function. And our set variable component is calling the setter. Does it just mean is there no set? Determine that value, declare variable. And our ref is there. Okay, so the set function is setting this set variable. We're declaring, we declare that variable, I'm getting it here. And what if we don't get it? We define it up here somewhere. Where is it? Should continue. Yeah, should loop. We set it way up here. Well, let's get rid of it there. We define a task list. We don't seem to have any problems with the task list, which is kind of weird. Let's declare it over here instead of getting it. So we define concat
Okay, let's see. I mean, can you open up your DevTools and run a performance recording so we can see what is causing that? Because I can't reproduce it on a small scale. Just move it like a little bit, wait for it to be done, and then click stop.
There you go.
Yeah. The processing it takes a bit, and because apparently a lot has happened in that time. Okay, so now it is spending a lot more time on scripting, which makes sense. Can on the bottom click on I think the call tree or the bottom up thing. Okay, it's append child apparently. On the bottom up thing, it's both set attribute and append child. What? Okay, can you open that up just so we can
calculate style?
Okay, so that comes from a few places, but this one, yeah, can you open up that, the CO one and the LO one? Okay, that goes to LO. Okay, so append child takes a lot of time because it kind of goes into that. So it is a mouse up event. Okay.
This too.
Can you go into the function that is being triggered there? The it thing. That is weird, I guess. Because it doesn't look like anything from our own code.
Yeah.
It looks like it's coming from Jupyter Lab or something, yeah.
Which would suck. What was I going to do? The condition. The condition, I want to put it in another defined variable component. Which should be called should loop. Okay, value should be true. Put that up to the loop, and then put that up to the delete. Okay, so then it will set it false when the file exists, and then we redefine it every time we get a new message. So that should work. And then we can do more than one thing at a time. Or not more than one thing at a time, but we can process more than one message.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like...
So let's close these. Okay, we have started consuming. Consume. Okay, we got BabyAGI. I'm taking a screenshot now. Finished. Published. Too fast. Should I add like an auto delay between everything?
Maybe.
Probably in an effort to make it go better when it comes to human detection. So we do the action, then we do time.sleep.
Why does it call date size? So I think for whatever reason it is calling update size on the nodes when they are moved. And that makes it mark every port as dirty. So it recalculates all the connections between all the nodes.
I see. And then as I have a crap ton of nodes, things are going to take time.
Yeah.
There we go. How's that? What else should we do? Something complicated that might take more than one step. But that's still essentially a screenshot. What is the okay? How about Jen?
Something where it cannot guess the URL, maybe?
Yeah, like the top. Let me the top comment on Hacker News right now. The top comment thread. Give me a screenshot. Yeah, go to Hacker News and give me a screen of the top comment thread. Okay. I also need to get it to close pages when it's done. Something I got to do later.
Yeah. So how long do you want to continue the stream?
Pop from an empty queue. What did I do wrong? That sucks.
Again, how long do you plan to continue the stream?
Let's see. What time is it right now?
Your time, my
I guess
time?
like 20 minutes. Yeah, just 20 more minutes, I think, because that's when the meeting's at. So
yeah.
Let's do
Okay,
that.
I'm going to drop for the rest of the stream. We'll see each other in the meeting then.
Cool.
Okay, see you there.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so now the bot is going to try and figure out Hacker News. And that's where things get a little complicated for the bot, because it doesn't always know how to do things. Okay, so there we go. It has got the screenshot, hopefully, that we want. Unfortunately, maybe no. But it is on the right page, so that's good. So let's see, kind of figure out how to navigate that page. Kind of sometimes feel like there needs to be an AI browser. Okay, we're finished. Cool. I'm done. That was ridiculous in terms of the complexity, but not because of BabyAGI. That part was the easy part. The part was the Discord and then the queuing and things like that. Now, this doesn't have to work the way that it currently works. The important thing to realize is I'm doing it this way because I want to have this visual to be able to see what the bot is doing. So I'm not doing it in a headless browser, but this could totally be done like a lot easier on a headless browser kind of setup. So that'll be like maybe the future version, but I do kind of like this idea of being able to see what the bot is looking at. And just make sure that it's not going crazy or accessing the wrong things. Plus, I can be logged in to my Hacker News account, and I can have it maybe interact with Hacker News for me if there was something I wanted it to do, and it could do something more long term as well. So that's what I'm building towards. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, join the waitlist for the Express AI, and I will be publishing most of this stuff onto the GPT agent toolkit, so you should be able to reproduce these kind of things on your own. And but I'm also going to make another kind of a set of tools that makes this a lot easier, right? Like this is kind of a ridiculous thing to be working with, this entire like crazy graph. So instead of doing all of this, things will be a lot easier for most people, unless you're like me and you're kind of like experimenting with the prompts and experimenting with where it loops, or one of the things I want to do is like inject LangChain in the middle of this and see how that works. So I'm doing all of those things. So that's why I have a crazy thing. But I think for most people, it'll be like, get message from Discord and then send it to BabyAGI, with the browser tool and send the response, right? Like something very simple, 4 or 5 nodes, and that's all you need. And then maybe instead of that, for compliance reasons, you might want to put that into a log file somewhere, or save it so that you have some sort of integration that you need. So all those things are doable, and I'm kind of excited to see what people do come up with the things. And I will see you guys on my normal time, Tuesday next week. So if you're interested in stuff and you happen to be in the right time zone, join the stream. So that's all. And I'll see you guys next week. Talk later.